and welcome back my subscribers to another Sunday Speed Paint. Today's Speed Paint is inspired by an old anime that I had forgotten existed for a while, so getting right into it, I'm going to explain to you how I would describe this anime to newcomers. So this is an extreme roller skating sport that involves gangs or groups, and you have to use these automated roller skates to fight for territory and earn your emblems from opponents and wear these gears called ATs, which you're probably wondering, what in the world am I talking about? Let me read you before I tell you the name of the anime, the description that it gives. The leader of a young gang competes in the world's newest extreme sport. Very vague, but I thought that this anime was very strange, and it took me 3 episodes to really get into understanding the show, and boy am I glad that I watched it. The show that I'm talking about is Air Gear, and it's from 2006 was when the first episode of the anime came out, and I think it also ended within the same year. I think there was like 25 episodes in a single season, and I think there's also a manga, but I found the anime first, and wow, was it it's full of a lot of different things. It's kind of like some of the animes nowadays that I've seen that have extreme sports, where you take normal sport and you bump it up to 11. I don't know if YouTube's gonna demonetize me for using any big bad words, so I may abbreviate some things, but hopefully the word gangs or groups isn't one of those demonetizable words. But to start off with explaining some points without spoiling things, I'm gonna talk about the main character, Iki, who's a boy who has like a family or friends or something that he lives with, that one day he's out just kind of bored out of his mind, and he sees a lady named Simka who flies by on her ATs, which are what these basically electric-like roller skates are, where when you use pressure to push forward on them, you go fast, and when you push back, you go slow. So, kind of like those hoverboards that came out a couple years ago, except on roller skates, and you could use them to kind of go flying really fast, and that was the point of the show, was flying and your wings. It was emphasized so very much in this that the MC Iki was given a nickname. I'm also going to put on screen the anime and the manga, so you guys have some references as to what I'm talking about and who Iki is. That's Iki on the screen. So, I won't spoil any of the stuff that happens later, but there's several characters that come into the plot, and one of them is a family or friend or cousin or something named Ringo, and she kind of helps Iki along the way, giving him advice, and shows up periodically to be like, I knew you could do it all along kind of person, but also has feelings for MC, and I still don't fully understand this. But that aside, the other lady, Simka, is another driving character to the story, since she was the first one that he saw with this gear going and flying across town. And one of the things that was his nickname of Little Crow is because he's the underdog and he's underestimated, and he has several introducing kind of like character fights that later become friends kind of a thing, as the MCs do in some shows. But one of the things that I thought was interesting was he takes on the role of his family or friends' crew, which they have emblems, which are basically fancy enamel-like pins or stickers that have their crew's kind of thing on it, and they slap these stickers on areas of their territory so that they have that as like their thing for competition, and they run around, and I believe you need a minimum of 5 members to start one up. So it gets pretty crazy and very in-depth for things. They have reasons behind everything, they have ranks for everything from A to F, and if you're on the lower tier of F, there's only certain things that you can do, and you have to work your way up, and to do this you can do anything from AT Parts Wars, which is getting parts from other competitors, to full-on Emblem Wars, where if you bet your emblem, your whole crew can get disbanded if you lose, and you give your emblem to the winner. And it kind of goes like a tier system of, if you collect a bunch of F rank ones, you're basically stuck at level E, and so on and so forth. So your goal is to kind of get your way all the way up to the higher rank. C is the average one, and certain parts cost like a tremendous amount of yen, which I believe the show was set in Japan. But some of my favorite characters without spoilers would have to be, of course, Iki, Ringo, and Simka, because they're like the first 3 characters you get introduced to. But later on down the line, I believe the character's name is Bushka, or Bushka, I can never pronounce his name, but if you see him, oh my god, his character arc was so amazing. It took 2 episodes, and he's one of those kind of supporting cast characters that has that personality of he looks scary, but later on down the line you kind of learn he's not that scary when you get to know him. But he can be scary if you piss him off. Later, also, we meet a character named Agito, or Akito, trying to keep this as spoiler-free, but I love their character. The fact that they are seen as a shark in the show, that's as spoiler-free as I can get, is absolutely worth watching. And that's just the bare minimum, so if you guys want to hear more about that show, no. If you guys want to see more videos like this, don't forget to join the subscriber squad by putting your paws to that subscribe button, turn on notifications, stay possum, and I'll see you all next week. Bye!